The first thing we're going to do is talk about Tag Manager and why I like to use it. And then I'm going to show you a practical example, and we're going to add the Google Analytics 4 tag to a website using Tag Manager. And the third thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the Tag Assist tool, which lets us debug our tags to see if a tag is firing or not, and so we can try and figure out why. So let's get started. So now let's create an account. So we'll come to create an account, and it doesn't matter what we call it. We'll call it Shortest Design. If you're doing it for a client, you can call it the client's name. You can call it the website's name. The website we're going to use is HelpSpa. You could do it like that. But if you have a client that has multiple sites, or if you're doing it for a company with multiple websites, you might want to put them all in one account. But each container you could think of it as a website. HelpSpa.com, and this is going to be for the web. And let's create. Let us read the terms of service and click yes. So now Google's going to give us this code that we have to add. And I'm not going to go through how to do this now because we have a separate video on that. Like I said, that's in the description. And then you would test your website to see if the code is there. This is a relatively new addition. In the past, we had to use Google Tag Assist to do it. But I'm going to show you how to use Google Tag Assist because that's what you're going to use in your day-to-day. So let's just click OK. And over here, we're ready to add tags. Let's assume now that we have Tag Manager installed. And let's go ahead and add a tag. Over here to new tag, and the beauty of this, new tag, you can choose some tag types that exist. So over here, let's just click new tag. Well, actually, we're going to do GA4. But let's come over here. Now, some tags it has already built in for you. So for example, if you use Crazy Egg, we used to use that a lot. You just put your account number in, and that will set up the configuration for the tag. When you're creating a tag, you're going to consider two things. Number one, the tag configuration, and that is, what is this tag? Is it Google Analytics? Is it Google Ads? Is it Crazy Egg? Is it custom HTML? If you want to use your HelloBar script, or if you want to add some kind of tracking code, you can use custom HTML, and that's really easy to do. And the trigger is, what is going to cause this tag to fire? Do you want it to fire on every single page like you would with Google Analytics? Or do you want it to only fire on a certain page, let's say, if you're doing some kind of conversion tracking? So let's create one for Google Analytics, call it GA4. Now, you could use any convention you want. What I like to do is number them. I know that's a little crazy, but it's what I just like to do. Just keep them in order so I know. We're going to come to Google Analytics, and you can see here, Google already knows it wants me to have a Google Tag ID. So let's go ahead and check that out. I have it sitting here in Google Analytics. Now, if you start in Google Analytics, and let's just say now this, obviously we have this set up already, but let's go ahead and grab the tag. We have a separate video also down here, which I'll show you about how to set up Google Analytics GA4 now. So let's come over here now to our data collection and under data streams. So we don't call it websites anymore in GA4, it's called a stream. So here we have a stream, and here's the measurement ID. Now the measurement ID is the same thing as the tag. So if we were to go to configure tag settings, you're going to see this G5JNC is the same as G5JNC, same thing. But let's come over here now to, now that doesn't necessarily mean for universal analytics, which you are not using anyway, you're not going to go there. But over here, but for Tag Manager, you're going to use this tag. And there are some settings that you have if you want to get a little bit advanced. You don't need to here. This is just your regular Google tag. And then under triggering, I want it on all pages. Then we'll click Save. And now it's going to show you what the differences are in your workspace. And that's my user. So let's go ahead now and click Submit. And I'm going to say GA4 tag. And let's click Publish. And there we go. So now we see here it was published. We have the tag and what tag was published. Let's now test to see if this is actually working, because it says that we have a live version of it, but that doesn't mean necessarily that it's actually firing properly, and that's what I want to see. If we're doing this for a client and installing GA4, I certainly want to make sure the GA4 code is firing and not to find out a month later that I have no data. So Google has something called Google Tag Assistant. And with Google Tag Assistant, you can actually check and see what's going on. So let's install this extension. And now let's come back to Tag Assistant. Let's add the domain. I know it says domain, but it wants you to do the URL. And it will yell at you if you don't do the full URL. So now it's going to bring it up, and let's see, it opens up the website, which is so old. But let's take a look, and you're noticing here, it says Tag Assistant connected, green check. So let's come over here to, let's get rid of this. This is in our way. And now here we are in Tag Assistant connected. Let's continue. And let's debug the live version. And here we go. So let's take a look at what we're seeing here. So it's showing us there are two tags. We have the Tag Manager container, which makes sense, right? Because this container is the Google Tag Manager code that we had to add to the website. And then within this container, we have these tags. And this is the Google tag itself. See here, we have the tag, we have the GA4 tag that's fired. And we have, you can click that and see, and here's that tag ID. So here we have G5, JNC, this is our Google tag. And here is what happened. And obviously, we didn't set these page views by itself, but what's happening is Tag Manager has said, fire this GA4 code. So that's how you would check to see if you have something else loading. Now, let's come over here. I want to show you just another really cool thing that I do with Tag Manager, and that's add custom HTML. So let's come over here and let's just do a test custom HTML. Now, you're going to use this if you have, for example, let's say you do want to use HelloBar. I like HelloBar. If you want to use that and you don't want to use the plugin for WordPress because of the overhead of a plugin, you can put custom HTML in here. Now, I don't know what the exact HTML is for that, so let's just do this. H2 hello world. Obviously, you'll be putting in whatever the proper code is. Now, the trigger, where do you want it? HelloBar will tell you. It has its own, that script will let you say, please only load it here, or please only load it there. So in this case, we can put all pages, and let's click save, and let's submit. Added HelloBar. And you can add more if you want, you know, custom HTML, doesn't matter. And they're showing us what the workspace changes. Let's click publish. Great. Now that we published it, let's take a look at our Tag Assistant. Let's reload that. It's thinking. It's over here connecting the window. It's not connected, so let's see why not. This is good. Sometimes this will happen. So let's just close the website. Let's come to Tag Assistant and close it. And let's try that again. Sometimes it's just what has to happen with Tag Assistant. Let's try it again. Now it's going to open up the website to make a connection. Tag Assistant is connected. Let's take a look. Continue. And there we go. Perfect. So we still have our container. We've got the tag, our Google tag, which we're using for GA4, but our test custom HTML, and we know it's going to show us what it was, but we know that it has fired. And so if we said tags not fired, that would be, well, why is it not fired? If you would set this to only fire, you could come here, and if you would set the tag, let's say, to only fire the trigger, if you would set it to, let's come over here. Let's come back to the actual tag itself. Let's take a look at our list of tags, test custom HTML. And if we had set the trigger to something else, let's say let's get rid of that, all pages, to only fire, you know, on pages that start with whatever, you know, this is test trigger. You could do it on, you know, let's say just links. So if somebody clicks the link, if the, you know, so again, you can go through, this is, we're not going to go through this right now, but so you could certainly customize, you know, if somebody clicks that link, then fire some code. And that's really helpful. So that is an overview of Tag Manager. So what you can do is, if you want to learn how to set up Google Analytics 4 for a website, we have a video, like I said, I'll link that in the area below. And we also have the video of how to install Tag Manager in WordPress. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to get feedback from you guys so I can learn what you guys want to learn so I can teach you more. And please don't forget to subscribe.